That was one of those football matches, like a lot of football matches, where you just stand up for the final 10 friggin' minutes. You just can't sit down. And that's because Brentford are good and we didn't have the game sewn up. I want to be sitting like this at the end of a Chelsea game, but I was in stand-up mode. By the way, I've got the sweatshirt on again. The only coal I want this Christmas. Ladies and gentlemen, Chelsea 2, Brentford 1. Massive win! Do you have any idea how good this is? For those of you who are thinking, apparently there's a red card at the end. I missed that. Cucurella has been sent off for a red card. I'm going to have to look back at that because I literally saw the full-time whistle and just literally turned off. We'll revisit that. Oh my god. I mean, that's annoying because that's really, really dumb. Just checked, our next game is at Goodison Park. Could be worse that he would be suspended for, and he'll be back for the home game at Fulham, which will be much more tougher because Everton will pose more of a defensive threat. Anyway, oh my god. And so look, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. Guys, I'm going to show you some stats. I'm going to show you SoFA score, whatever. And yes, Chelsea had all the attacking momentum, but Brentford are no mugs, okay? They haven't had the greatest away form this season, but they've had their greatest start to a Premier League game this season. They beat Newcastle last time out 4-2. By the way, a Newcastle side that have just won 4-0 in this game week. And yes, the last 3 visits to Stamford Bridge, Brentford have beaten us. Every single visit to Stamford Bridge since they've become a Premier League team, they've beaten us. So it's juju. And that's the previous seasons when they've not had as strong a start as they have this season. So this is an absolutely huge win, and it was another test to see out the game. So we're going to get into it as always. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me as always. Thanks for supporting the content. Dropping a like on the video does help us content creators out. It should do. It used to on YouTube. I hope it still does in the deep dark abyss that is the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Let's get into it. So yes, this win does take us 2 points off the top of Liverpool. They have a game in hand, one you think they'd win, so 5 points you'd have to think off the top. I'm not thinking of a title race. And you know why? Because this Mbermo goal at the end, we're going to get into it. Chelsea are good. Chelsea are, by some distance, the youngest team in the Premier League. They're just coming together, they're feeling good, they're trending in the right direction. Just to get overexcited because we're looking good and exciting and just be like, oh yeah, they're title contenders. Look, neutrals will say that because they have to. They have to look at the league table. But if you actually analyze the maturity, development and longevity of the team, then look, I'm in a WhatsApp group with some YouTube content creators. George is getting terribly excited. George Benson, me and Eunice were like, yeah, talk to us at the end of March and see how many points clear we are. Do you know what I mean? But we're going to get into it. Only SoFA score as per. Now, this is attacking momentum dominated by Chelsea here on the left-hand side of the screen. As you can see, they definitely had a spell in the second half. But this is like field tilt. This is where we played the game. But Brentford, they didn't just look like vulnerable like team getting battered. They knew what they were doing. They were always a threat, and you knew they could always come into it. It's that momentum and the stats. This game, right? The stats and the eye test are going to be very different. I think the eye test made Brentford always look, dangerous. But I imagine the stats made Chelsea look dominant. We will get into it here. So let's have a look at the lineup, shall we, here on the left-hand side. Back 5 or back 3 for Brentford as per the norm. Pinnock, Burmo and Visser up front. We saw players. They made 5 changes. Yannick came on. Aya came on. Carvalho, Sharda. The two good players. Of course, Sharda. Oh, you guys can't see that. I just realised. Sharda, of course, recently scoring a hat-trick and another goal, Kevin Sharda. So, good players, as you can see here. Chelsea played a 4-2-3-1. That Cucurella second yellow, man. What's he getting involved with an argument for? I'll have to see it. I'll talk about it in just a moment. I'm going to pause the recording. I'll have a look at it, and then I'll react to it before I finish the recording for reference. But we had Sanchez in goal, and we're going to talk about Sanchez. Tosin starts on the right-hand side. Apparently, Bedishill's injured or something, but it kind of makes sense. Although I believe Tosin kind of played as a central centre-back here. And if we look at his heat map, you can see it. He was sort of centre of a back three. Gusto kind of played right of the back three here, but did get forwards. And then Colwell kind of would have played left of a back three, but got forwards. And then finally, if I just get rid of these guys, that means Cucurella was inverting into... He's playing like a left back. He was holding the width with Sancho, but he did go into that pocket sometimes, which is interesting. Let's have a look at Sancho. There's a lot of overloading on the width there. So similar positions being occupied, and Madueke and Gusto as well. Yeah, really, really interesting. We just loaded the width, put loads of crosses into the box in the first half. Palmer more in the left pocket, interestingly. Historically, it's the right pocket. And then Jackson just as a striker all over the gaff. Caicedo, CDM pushing right up. And Fernandez in the right pocket. So there you go. Palmer left pocket, Enzo Fernandez right pocket. That's what the heat maps say. Let's look at the stats quickly here in the weird left-hand side of the page here. 62% possession to their 38. Very dominant in the first half. And indeed the second half, they created more XG and 4 big chances to our 1. So there you go, guys. For all that field tilt nonsense or attacking momentum up here in the top left, yeah? Big chances created all game. They created more big chances than we did. We created a higher XG. So that's what I mean. Like, Brentford are a serious team. They will have parts of the game where even if they're not letting Chelsea have the ball, even if they're like, right, we can't get the ball because Chelsea are too good, they don't panic and they don't have this like inferiority complex because they're really friggin' good this season. And we can see that. So let's run through the timeline, and I will speak about the red card as well. So Cucurella gets the goal right at the end of the first half, assist on Madueke. Great ball in, glancing header by Marc Cucurella, who's having one of the most epic remontadas ever. Did the sort of penguin celebration, which I think is in reference to him slipping at Tottenham Hotspur. But guys, it is what can only be described as a great ruddy header, mate. Olivier Giroud would have been proud of that. Sort of running near post glancing header, if memory serves, but it was really good. We needed that going into half time because we were dominant in terms of, again, field tilt or where the game is being played. It was being very much played in their half. And I never felt safe in this game, despite lots of nice football, lovely touches from Palmer and Sancho. Caicedo looking really good. I mean, just, the ratings here from SofaScore is all green from Chelsea players. It was a really high, there's a few green of Brentford there, but it was a really high quality game. Second half starts, lots of, again, opportunity for Chelsea pushing up, lots of changes from Brentford. And then we see the second goal, another assist from Enzo Fernandez. For club and country, I believe he has 11 goals and assists in his last 9 games. Enzo Fernandez is officially in attacking form. He's not this he can cover ground. He'll do a lot of running. He's not the fastest, maybe not the best tackler in the world, but he's getting more intelligent about where to occupy spaces, how to press. He'll run, which is very, very helpful. But he's getting assists, he's getting goals, he's wearing the captain's armband. Lots of really, 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 really positive development from Enzo Fernandez, you have to say. And Nico Jackson scoring, again, what can only be described as a ruddy good goal. Played through a through ball from Enzo Fernandez, ran onto by Nico, going on the outside and finishes... keeps it on the deck near post. It's a lovely goal, and he needed that because not too long before that, he missed what was pretty much a bit of a sitter. Great move from Cole Palmer, like dribbling outside the 18-yard box. Lovely movement, gets it to Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho takes it to the byline, cuts back to what should be bread and butter for a striker finish, and he sort of he just sort of sticks a lazy foot out and it bounces off his foot, which is poor, and he'll be frustrated by that. But he scored what is ultimately, the winner in a great goal. So you've got to be happy with that, really, haven't you? Let's have a look here then. So we're thinking, right, we're cooking now, and Kunku comes on for Jackson. And in the 90th minute, It's a great goal, actually. Assist Kevin Charlotte to, like I said, a good player off the bench, to Mbermo, who's into double digits in the Premier League. What a player. The only time he's had a quiet few games is when I brought him back into my FPL and I bring him out again and he starts scoring again just because of my curse. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, at Football Yannick, will know all about my fantasy Premier League curse. Anyway, it's a good goal. It's a good goal on the break. There's a couple of moments. They carve through us really, really well. Sanchez comes out, but it's fine. He can come out. And it's a good finish from Mbermo, who makes a run. He's onside. He holds his run well. It's a really good transitional counter-attacking Brentford goal. But then 7 minutes, 7 friggin' stoppage time minutes spawn out of nowhere. And I start ring myself because we need to hold on, and this is another test to, again, a very, very young, inexperienced Chelsea side. They've shown they could come back against adversity at Tottenham, 2 goals down. Tottenham, by the way, slapped up Southampton 5-0 in the first half. So, massive pass test for Chelsea. And I'd argue this is as well. And seeing that out, and there was a little bit of gamesmanship, Cucurella foul, maybe a little bit of sort of winning fouls, let's say, not necessarily Kyle Walker style dives. And by the way, guys, after watching the Manchester derby, which was exciting because Man United came back and piled on the more drama onto Manchester City, which is definitely something I'll be continuing to talk about on my second channel, which of course is Football Yannick on YouTube as well. But the quality of that game, the Manchester derby, was very low from both sides, which is wild, really, because it's a Pep Guardiola Man City side involved. But comparatively, the youngest side in the Premier League, Chelsea, versus Brentford, who, no disrespect for Brentford, but Brentford, had they'd won this, which another day, maybe they could have, they would have gone within a point of Man City. The quality of football in this game was so much better than the Manchester derby. Right, I'm going to pause the recording quickly and look at this Cucurella red card before I comment. Yeah, it's needless. It's soft. The ref didn't. I just looked at it. It's after full time. They're going around. He gives, I imagine, opposition player gave him a bit of stick, saying you've dived or you've done something bad. He gives him a shove. Hit my keyboard there. He gives him a complete needless shove. It is soft. He could definitely not. A ref could have definitely not have given him a yellow. You don't know what he said or whatever. It is needless, though, and it's frustrating from Cucurella. He's got this little spice to him, Cucurella, where he will get a few red cards in his career. I mean, fortunately, the game at Goodison isn't away at Arsenal or, we've already done Anfield or playing Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? So there's a little bit of fortune there, but it is kind of needless from Cucurella, you'd have to say. And that's going to be a chance for Renato Vega. So Renato Vega, I guess he doesn't play on Thursday, and you just prepare him for a big game against Everton, presumably, but we'll obviously cross that bridge as it comes. All right, so let's talk about player performances then. I mean, looking at it, I think Cucurella, apart from the idiotic, second yellow, was so good. Not just the amazing header, who knew he had that in his locker, but just amazing interceptions, intelligent to when to press the space, to attack the space defensively, the counter pressing. He was just so good. Both the centre backs were good. On my Instagram at Halftime Live, which of course I do at Football Yannick, lots of people getting praised for Tosin from the first half. It's nice to have a right footer slightly there, but like I said, he's sort of playing in the middle. Colwell good, Gusto was excellent. I think, look, the £200 million men in midfield, they are looking mustard now, aren't they? Caicedo is just looking better and better and better. We've spoken about Fernandes. We're kind of getting the players that we thought we were buying. Yes, he's the Premier League record transfer, but Caicedo is so much more than just a really good CDM. He's a progressor. He can get the odd amazing assist. He can get the odd screamer goal, but he's a super all-round midfielder, right? And then with Enzo Fernandez, you're looking for a little bit more of a cultured midfielder who can score, get a few assists and score goals, and that's precisely what he's doing. precisely what he's doing at the moment. We're going to end on the goalkeeper. Attackers, Noni, really, really good. He got man of the match here on SofaScore. Obviously got an assist. Moments he can do better. Noni's ceiling is actually really, really high, and I think that's why Maresca calls him out. I think Palmer, despite not getting a goal or assist, that's because I captained him on FPL, so you can blame me for that, guys. I think he was really, really good. A couple of amazing touches. Still a bit of a marked man, Palmer, getting a lot of treatment from opposition players, but amazing. I think Sancho, he's got it locked down. Actually, to the point now where Noni and Sancho, both of them are just going to be sweating about Pedro Neto, because of course Neto can play on both sides. I think if there's a game where we need speed on the left-hand side, I think Sancho's out for Neto. But yeah, these are my guys. This is my starting front four right here. And of course, Nico Jackson, not perfect, making mistakes, but it doesn't matter because he keeps coming back, he keeps trying, and he'll score you the winner. And it was a great winner. I have to talk about Rob Sanchez, guys, because he did a really wobbly moment early doors where he nearly let the ball roll over the line. But you'd have to say he made 3 saves, goals prevented 0.73, which is good. Completed 2 out of 2 runouts, 6 high claims, which is what we want. This is why we hated Kepa. Why Kepa worried us, because he'd never claimed the ball. Did slightly better long balls ratio than we saw, but we've been seeing like 2 out of friggin' 22 recently, so 4 out of 14, 19 is a much better ratio. Yeah, 1 ground duel 1, 1 aerial duel 1. You have to say, guys, he won a foul as well. An excellent game from Chelsea's number 1, Rob Sanchez, and everything gonna be alright. Guys, frustrating end with Cucurella, but I'll take a Cucurella 1-match ban against an Everton side for a huge win against what was a bogey Brentford team at Stamford Bridge. I'm feeling really, really good about it. I really am. So I want to know what you think. Comment down below. Leave your thoughts. Let's start the conversation as per the norm. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, Football Therapy. And yeah, I hope to see you back here soon. Peace.